Hi, my name is Jermaine Morton, and I have been arrested yesterday in Jacksonville, yesterday at the bus station, standing outside of the bus station. I was locked up against a firearm weapon, open carry. I did not have a firearm weapon, open carry. A police officer named Hints have been directed to my arrest for a blank gun. The blank gun, it was two blank guns that had blank ammunition, and it was defined as a weapon, a firearm. The definition of firearm is a projectile, a contact instrument. It is a device, a mechanical device that discharges a projectile to contact. Now, as of a weapon, as of the next word that was used to, again, alongside firearm, was defined as weapon. Weapon is defined as a contact instrument, as of a device that is used to combat. So, and as open carrying, this non weapon that does not release or does not exert or emit projectiles, as does not fire air missile or into space, does not have a traveling ballistic mechanism where the whole area is blocked with wedge, not enabling a projectile to dispatch from the mechanism tool, which is defined as blank gun. So there was no heads on projectile heads on the ammunition. There were only explosives or minor explosives to detonate within inside the mechanism. And I've been accused of having in possession of an open carry firearm weapon, and prosecuted by the state attorney and by the judge, which would have not enabled me to have freedom of today to vote unless I admit to no contest, as not admitting to the crime, but admitting to not contest or to dispute against their claim. Now, the evidence of the mechanism of their claim I was in violation of, in their possessions, having the photos and the graphics, the photos and images, graphical images of the instrument at which they blamed me of exhibiting. Now, my definition of it is a blank gun, and the definition that the cop has is a blank gun. But however, the writing, at which is in writing on document, on paper, describes it as being a firearm weapon, open carry. Now, I had possession of a mere toy, which is a blank gun, which cannot launch any projectiles into space or air missiles into space. And I suffered the consequences of jail time behind bars. And I'm very nervous and upset that it's on the record that I had a weapon in my possession, accused of having a weapon in my possession, which is more like defamation of character. And also as a business steering. When they have arrested me and approached me, I have allowed them to reach for the object, the instrument, which is a blank gun. And I had one in my baggie, and I allowed them to take that also to examine it, that it may be proven on observation and their own analysis that it is a blank gun. It was confirmed by them, by their own mouth, that it was a blank gun. However, one of the officers had removed their camera that they had on their chest. The camera which they had on their chest was, his name was Officer Hints. He removed his camera, covered his hands off, and took his camera. When I went to court, the prosecutor and the judge, having the evidence before them, still have claimed, according to that which they had in writing, not contradicting the claim, thus have already reviewed the evidence, that it is a blank gun. However, on the minutes, have defined it as the crime as firearm weapon open carry. Now, this is also in writing that they have me subjected for and punished in imprisonment for a couple of hours. I am upset because it was a toy, and I was actually locked up against a toy, exhibiting a toy in public. where it was in a holster alongside, on my side, a toy. So open carrying a toy got me into prison yesterday, and I'm out today. I don't have my ballistic-proof, bulletproof jacket, which they took from me. So even though the police officer acknowledged that it was a blank gun, and still insisted on taking me in against an open carry, a firearm open carry, in which he described the mechanism. However, in the review of the subject, have also articulated the contrary, that it is, beyond a reasonable doubt, according to its writing, that it is a blank gun. And the ammunitions are not, they cannot fire outside of the exterior of the mechanism. Now they can soar through the air, horizontally or vertically. So since the officer have articulated that, and the judge have made me hold that to my record as to not contend, or else I would have spent time in jail, and I have to pay a fine of going to jail. And having these things as not a weapon, not even used as a weapon, is in combat, and have not used it as far as combat, were then defined as a weapon, but there was no combat. There is no second party that arguments the account as if it was a weapon. So the description of it being a weapon as a tool in combat, it wasn't. A toy is not considered a tool in combat only when it is used as a weapon in combat, or the process of combat, at which those witness and have a victim that claims that that element or instrument was used as a combat element in a fight, or to where they have someone who is victimized by the subject. There's no way. In addition to that, a firearm that cannot launch into projectiles, but explosive within the chamber, and cannot discharge outside the chamber. In addition to that, I've been kidnapped by the officers and taken to prison. Whereas the duties of their sergeants to review their documents or papers and approved of the arrest, and concurrent to those who also followed and aided and abetted this kidnapping of my body into their process system, where I was removed beyond my will and cuffed beyond my will, held as a prisoner in a certain amount of hours in a place I did not want to be, willfully be, nor insist, but by them insisting on pursuing a lie in which they have acknowledged that of their lie, but have wrote the contrary in both phases. One, they have articulated that it was an open carry weapon, a firearm open carry weapon. Two, they have articulated that it was a blank gun. A blank gun is not considered as a firearm. It cannot be considered as a firearm because it does not fire a contact. It has to fire a contact instrument or mechanism. It has to fire a contact thermo energized projectile. It did not, so it's not a firearm. Two, it is not a weapon because there is no contact. It does not contact the human body or vessel, plastic or metal or silver or anything outside of its exterior. So it is not a weapon for contact or combat. So therefore, I am stressed. I am manic depressive. I am going through a lot of emotional things. They also contacted the bus system, the JTA, and have requested that I be trespassed of carrying a toy, posted toy, on my persons outside of the boundary, property, architectural lot boundary, outside of the boundary of the region of that property, and have seized me when my foot was not even stepping on the surfaces. It was actually in a smoke area zone where there's no parking, but not on their property as of the landmass as they travel to the buses. Only thing that was on there was my bags, not me, physically. Now, while that was occurring, they have also exempted me from all bus stations and all JTE travel. And I find that very harsh, and a harsh punishment, when it was not the exactly of that which they have had in writing. Being sworn to tell the truth, sworn in to tell the truth and protecting the whole, and sworn to tell the truth, have also distributed a lie, a contradiction of the truth, having the evidence of that in which they had evidence that it is not a firearm, evidence it do not release air vessels or projectiles. Two, evidence that it has no fire ammunition that can soar through the air, but only mining explosive as firecrackers. According to the statutes, that is grounded firecrackers that does not go into the air. So because of that, it is legal and lawful to have possession of, and legal to exhibit, as a toy is legal to exhibit. However, it did not even have the potentials like a water gun to exert fluids out of its chamber, to where it's able to exert it upon another subject, or either in combat to exert it against water, against one who in competition against or combat. So it was even lesser than a BB gun, whereas it doesn't exert projectiles or pellets, air missiles. So I was accused, and now that's on my record, of that which occurred, and I want justice. Could you please help me? My name is Jermaine Morton.